and welcome to the channel Out of Ammo, Out of Time. I'm your host, Crappy Terror 8, and here we are in the next episode of the Investigator Games Eldritch Horror Edition with everybody's favourite nun, Sister Mary. Yes, Sister Mary. Let me just adjust these so they're right. Here we go, Sister Mary. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I welcome you. What is the Investigator Games, I hear you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's like the Hunger Games. We take each investigator and we put them through a Arkham Files game, in this case Eldritch Horror True Solo, and we see how they go. And depending on how they go, they end up in a league table like this one. Yes, and we can see a number of investigators from top to bottom. Unfortunately, Joe Diamond had a pretty rough trot last time, so I'm hoping that Sister Mary will do a little bit better, but it's tough going solo. But the point is not to win, the point is to top the table so that by the end of the season, the investigators at the top of the table are showered in praise and those at the bottom hang their heads in shame. Yes, no spoilers. If you haven't played Eldritch Horror before, I would encourage you to play it in real life or seek out introductory videos. I'm assuming you know how to play. Yes. So there we are, Sister Mary. So yes, she's a nun. Let's just have a look at her various stat lines and things. So first of all, we can see that she's low on law, influence, and strength. So those are low. Observation is average. Her will is where her real strength is. Very strong with a 4 will, obviously coming from her religious faith, I imagine. And we can see that in her psychological index, a nice 7, hefty 7, whereas her physiological index is only 5. The Lord watches over my path. I am armored in faith. There we go. Yes, she has her special abilities or special actions that she can test will. As an action for each success, you or another investigator on any space may discard a madness condition. So this makes it very difficult for Sister Mary to go loopy, which is quite nice. And this one's quite nice too. You and other investigators on your space add 1 to the result of each die roll as part of a bane or a boon condition effect. So there we go. So we can do a bit of shenanigans around that with Sister Mary. So there we go. Now, if we flip over her card, we'll ignore the right-hand side because if she's defeated, she's defeated. But we can see she starts in South Africa. She starts with the Holy Water asset. We'll look at that in a sec, which is nice. A ship ticket and a clue. A nice bunch of things. Sister Mary speaks very little of her life before taking her vows. Like so many other young girls, she came from a small town and dreamed of something greater than a small life. The Lord provided. Through his path, she has become a lion of compassion and virtue. She has a natural humility, and people are often surprised how driven she is to serve God's will. The church has sent her to South Africa to investigate a possibly demonic presence. Mary plans to approach the question, as she always does, with a clear mind and an unshakable faith. Yes, so there we are. That's why we're in South Africa. So if we have a look here at her holy water, which she's carrying, you can discard this card to get a +5 will or fight during a combat encounter. That is very, very handy. You can also discard the card, choose an investigator on your space to gain a blessed condition as well, which is also nice. So there's like a one-off effect during a combat, or you can get a blessed condition, which sounds pretty good, actually. That's something I might be doing. And there's the ship ticket and the clue, so that's very nice to start with. So let's just go around the houses and just set everything up. Now, the Mythos card's already set up, so we don't need to do anything with those, but I'll just go through the others, just shuffle up the assets and then see what we get. Just put them out, and then we will have a little look-see at them. It's always a bit of fun to see what we get. So what have we got here? We've got a Profane Tome. You can re-roll 1 die when resolving a will test during a combat encounter. We have an Arcanist, an ally,
was 3, takes 3. When you gain this card from the deck or reserve, gain 2 spells, then discard a spell, roll an additional die during a lore test. Very nice. And this is also quite expensive. Intelligence report. When you gain this card, gain 2 clues. And finally, forbidden text. Get +1 will and +2 during combat encounters. So there we go. Interesting things there. I like some of them. Definitely worth having a go at those. Let's just shuffle all these up. Now, in terms of the expedition, 1, 2, 3, 4. Expedition is starting in, that looks like Japan, Tokyo, I think. It's the expedition, I think, starts in Tokyo. I'm pretty sure that's what that image is. Yeah, let me just have a look here. It's not Shanghai, I don't think. Whoops. Yes, it's Tokyo. Okay, where were we? We're just shuffling up the others. Whoop. Madness, injury, illness, exposure, boon and bane, deal and restriction, pursuit and talent. Don't worry about these. Okay, here's the research cards and the mystery cards, and let's see what the first mystery is. And the first mystery looks like the true name. Fragment of Azathoth's true name exists in long-forgotten tomes. It says that if a person speaks his name aloud 3 times, the blasphemous sound will grant the speaker great power. When this card enters play, place a number of Eldritch tokens equal to half each on a random space. As an encounter, an investigator on space containing an Eldritch token may attempt to find information out about Azathoth's true name. He may spend 2 clues to place that Eldritch token on this card. At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens on this card equal to 1, solve this mystery. Okay, so we basically need to spend 2 clues. So let's see where it is. So you've got to use the clues to find out. And it's at number 4. So the Eldritch token, and there is only 1, isn't there? Yeah, is at 4, which is over here in North America. There. Okay, that's quite a way away, but we've got to get 2 clues anyway, and at the moment we've only got 1 clue. But we're starting here, so yes, we'll need to get ourselves up there. But we're starting with a clue, but we're going to need another clue. It would be nice. I mean, we can obviously get it with the intelligence report, but that may take some work. Oh, it's possible. Okay, so that's the first mystery. That's not too difficult to manage. Let's shuffle up the gates now. Put out the first gate, which is in Buenos Aires. Put the gate in Buenos Aires along with, what do we get? We get a Chocho. I don't think I had a Chocho before. Pretty weak. If you defeat this monster during a combat encounter, gain a random item asset from the deck. Oh, okay. So that's in Buenos Aires. Okay. Okay. I think that's... Oh, and of course a clue. Yeah. With any luck, we might find somewhere lucky. 20. No, that's Australia. No, it's not Australia. It's Papua New Guinea, I think. Whoops. The zoom function doesn't work very well sometimes. Yeah, 20 is not in Australia. It's in Papua New Guinea. 21 is Australia. And Sydney, obviously, is in Australia, so it's here. Okay, so that's not actually too far away from us at all. So there we go. So I think that's all the things we need to do to set up. I think we've gone around and done everything. So we've got our mystery, and just looking at the board here before we kick off. So we've got a gate here in Buenos Aires. We've got a clue here at 20. And we've got this Eldritch token up here in San Francisco. Kind of a bit all over the place, really, aren't they? So... but what we could do is we could take a ship over and get the clue. Then we could pop up to Tokyo and then we could get from Tokyo to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco we can get to this place and do the Eldritch token. It's a bit of roundabout, but it's possible to do. Okay, cool. All right, so I think we're all ready to kick off. We've got everything done. Oh, there's the horn, and the crowd goes wild. So Sister Mary is ready to go in the Investigator Games Eldritch Horror Edition. Here we are in South Africa, and we've got to work out what to do and where to go. Now, we already have a ship ticket, and we already have a clue. And this is the thing, because what I'm thinking is we should try and maybe get the intelligence report, because if we successfully roll on the influence, and when we can use a debt condition to get the intelligence report, we can then use the ship ticket to get ourselves already quite a way up towards Arkham. So if not, then we can take one of the tomes, the Forbidden Text or the Profane Tome, and then we could head towards here and get the token there. So yeah, we've got a couple of options here. And we start on a city, so we can do that. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see whether I can get. I probably won't, but you never know. All I need is, so we have an influence of 2, so I'm going to roll up 2 and see how we go. So our first action is to go shopping. 5 or a 6, and we do get a 5. That's great. I'm going to take a debt condition. And so this is our first action, and I'm going to take the intelligence report. The intelligence report immediately gives us 2 clues. Oh, I don't need to know what it is. There we go, 2 clues. No messing around. One thing I've learned about Eldritch Horror is there's no time for messing around. Things can go very badly very quickly, so you really have to kind of do what you can as quickly as you can. So that's the intelligence report. So let's put out another one. And the Enchanted Blade comes out. Very nice card. That would be a really great card to get, but difficult for us to purchase. So that was our first action. Our first action was to do that. So the second action, we will use the ship ticket, and we will move, we could go via Buenos Aires, but that's a bit indirect, so I'm going to move here to this. So we're on the ocean, essentially, in position 8. So we've moved. So there we go. So those are our 2 actions. So lightning fast stuff. We took a debt condition because it seemed like the expedient thing to do, and I probably regret that. But anyway, we use the debt condition to get us the intelligence report. So we gained 2 clues. We've now got lots of clues, and then we used our ship ticket to get ourselves up towards Arkham. So what we can do is from here, we probably take ourselves up to Arkham, and then we can then make our way. We can't move there in 2 turns, but we can move to this place, and then we can then move there next time. It's a bit frustrating in terms of movement, but it's one of those things that is an uncharted place, so it's not that easy to get to, but we're on the way. The plan is being hatched, and we are on the way, which is great. Good old Sister Mary. We didn't need to use her actions or special abilities at the moment because we don't have any Madness, Bane, or Boon conditions. Okay, we do have a debt condition, but that's not a Bane or a Boon. Okay, so that's the end of our actions. So let's move into the encounter phase. So we're going to do the good old ship encounter, and let's see what that's all about. Here we go. See, during a flash of lightning in the night, You see an enormous creature silhouetted against the sky. Ooh. The image chills you to the core. Will, if you fail, lose a sanity and gain a paranoia condition. Okay, so... Well, that's a bit rubbish. We don't get anything for it. We just basically avoid. Okay, so will, we have a will of 4. So let's see how we go. All right, 5 or a 6, will of 4, let's go. And yeah, we do that easily. Sister Mary is hardly going to be worried about the odd silhouette in the sky. Yeah, okay, awesome. Okay, so that's all good. That's all good. Let's move into the inaugural mythos phase. Here we go. What are we going to get? Please no red tentacles. And it's bloody red tentacles. Of course it is. Bloody hell. Okay, so we put out a clue. And the clue is where? Is on Tunguska. Miles away. The pyramids with only two Eldritch tokens. Okay, so there are 2 Eldritch tokens. Let's take those off for a second and just read what it has to say. Humanity's final hour is at hand, and your only hope lies in convincing the messenger of the gods to grant you more time. You pray that he will find your offerings and sacrifices to be sufficient. It's kind of a weird thing for Sister Mary to do, but anyway, bargain with Nyarlathotep. Ongoing rumor as an encounter and investigator on the pyramids may offer the messenger information about his enemies in exchange for assistance. Influence, if he passes, he may spend 1 clue to solve this rumor. When there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, investigators lose the game. You are kidding me. Discard 1 Eldritch token from this card unless the lead investigator gains a dark pact condition. Okay. All right. So, wow, that's quite nasty. So as an encounter, an investigator on the pyramids can offer the messenger information about his enemies in exchange for assistance. So we have to pass a influence test. If he passes, he can spend 1 clue to solve this rumor. So that's on the pyramids, isn't it? Yeah. So we should put a little rumor thing on the pyramids. That is a real bugger, that is. Otherwise, we have to keep taking Dark Pact conditions. However, having said that, Dark Pacts are not boon or bane, I don't think. So, yeah. So anyway, that's going to take some management. So there we go. So that's the end of the first round. That was quite an interesting round. We got ourselves quite a way to go and get this first mystery solved. We're well on the way for that. However, we now have a problem with the pyramids. Now, I suppose, just thinking about it, I could actually go and try and do this first. The problem is our influence is very low, so that's the only thing. But we could go here, but then next time we'd have to move again. So yes. Doesn't give us much to work on, does it? We really have to kind of do something about it. It's quite a, we lose the game, so it's quite a nasty. So I think we have to go and deal with it. I'm afraid. I'm wondering. Yes. Okay. We are on the seas, so we can't. We'll have to anyway. Okay. So there we go. So we'll move into to turn 2, and already things have gone a bit awry. But however, we've still only got 1 gate on the board here in Buenos Aires. So now we have a choice. I think we have to go and deal with this thing in the pyramids. We've got the clues to do it. It's just getting there is going to be a little bit problematic from where we are. So, Yeah, it's and the problem is that neither of them are particularly easy to get to. For some reason, it's easier to go from Rome to the pyramids than it is from West Africa. I guess you're going through the Mediterranean or something, and the Suez Canal. I guess that's the thinking there. Okay, so I think our plan is we better deal with this because it's a bit nasty, and then once we've dealt with that, we can get back on our way to San Francisco, but it's just going to delay what we were expecting to do. Okay, so we have two actions. Well, I think the first action is then let's move to here, to West Africa, or do we take sorry, before I start racing off, first of all, this deck condition. I can test influence. If you pass, discard this card. That's unlikely to work with only an influence of 2. So I think what I might do is and I can't acquire I can't acquire tickets here because that's not possible. So I think what I will do is I'll move to Arkham first of all. So we're on a city space. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Yes. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to acquire a ship ticket in Arkham so that next time I can get myself over to Rome, and then it's just a hop over to the pyramids. So I think that's what we do. Okay, so that's our two actions. So we moved and we acquired ourselves a ship ticket in Arkham. So let's see what Arkham has for us. Let's take the Americas. Here we go. Let's see what happens in Arkham. A fortune teller in Independence Square warns you of dire events. You try to interpret her words law if you pass. Okay, so, all right. So a law of 2. Let's shuffle them up. 5 or a 6, and we don't pass, which means if you fail, oh dear, you fear inevitably gain a paranoia condition. All right. Deal bane, boon, exposure, illness, injury, madness. Deal instruction, pursuit, talent. Is it under here? Must be paranoia condition. There we go. It's right on the top. Okay, so we got a paranoia condition. Having said that, though, we can test and we can actually get rid of it anyway if we need to. So, yes, we're a bit paranoid, but we're pretty good at dealing with those things. So there we go. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. It would have been nice to have gotten something positive there, but we didn't. We didn't pass. Okay, so that's the end of the encounter phase. So we will move into the mythos phase for turn 2. Let's see what we get this time. And it's another. Wow, I did shuffle these. Yep, here we go. Sorry, it was blue. I thought it was another blue one. So let's move this round to blue, and I think that's Buenos Aires. That is Buenos Aires, so the Doom track goes down by 1. Donk. Reckonings hit. Yes, the reckonings hit. So what reckonings do we have? We have 2 reckonings here. I don't think there are any other reckonings. The Chocho doesn't have reckonings. So there's only 2 reckonings. So first of all, flip this card. Let's see what this card says. Dark Extraction. Dark Extraction. Part of your essence that was the deal, and failure to live up to your end of the bargain will cost you and the world more than you bargained for. Resolve the reckoning effect on each Rumor Mythos card in play unless you discard a talent condition. Well, I don't have a talent condition, so I have to resolve the Rumor effect. Oh my god. This is already nasty. So we're already on a reckoning effect. So we've got to resolve the reckoning effect, and then we have to resolve the reckoning effect again. Discard an Eldritch token from this card unless the lead investigator gains. Well, let's just get rid of it, and then we'll gain the condition. Oh dear, that's not nice, is it? Then we can discard this card. I hope it was worth it. And then the reckoning condition on this one is test will. If you fail, flip this card. Well, at least we've got a will of 4, so that's not too bad. What's this say? Discard this card to choose an investigator on your space. Oh, as an action. Ooh, okay, I might do that. Anyway, so 4, let's go. No. You felt the anger called up inside for such a long time, you can't control it any longer. You lash out at anyone near you. Each other investigator in space loses 2 health, and you discard an ally asset, then flip this card. Well, that's not a big problem, is it? Because, yeah, we we don't have any, so big deal. That's no big deal at all. Each other investigator loses 2 health, and you discard an ally asset. Well, that's fine. Can do that, no problem. Okay, and finally we bring out a gate. Shuffle up the gates, and we bring out the Rome with a maniac. There's a maniac in Rome. There's a maniac in Rome. There we go. Okay. And finally resolve this reckoning again, but we have to discard that and lose the game, or we get a dark pact condition. That's that, isn't it? Dark pact. Okay. Ouch. All right. Okay, so there we go. That's all our that's all those bits and pieces done. Let's read out the rest. If this vision is true, you have confronted the Dark Pharaoh many times over the course of many lives. Each incarnation has been preparing you for this final battle. These are all linking together, aren't they? Lead investigator tests will. He improves number of skills equal to the result. Wow. Okay. 5 or a 6? 1 5. We can improve one thing. Well, I think the obvious thing to improve is the influence, since that's the thing we're going to have to deal with. So let's give ourselves an influence of 3. That's actually quite good. Great. Something positive for a change. Yay! Okay, good. Well, that wasn't too bad. At least we got something helpful there. Great. And I've just realized it's a bit of a problem if we go to Rome, because there's a bloody maniac there. How bad is the maniac? Let's have a look. Oh dear. But we do have the holy water. Okay. All right. Well, I think it might be worthwhile doing some of that. Okay, so that's the end of the second turn. So we will we'll move into the turn 3. Let's just have a look at where things are. So there's 2 gates down on the board in Rome and in Buenos Aires. We are trying to get to 4 to deal with that, but we need to get to the pyramids as quickly as possible. And we're really having some trouble with that. I'm not sure whether we can have multiple Dark Pact conditions, because if we can't, then I think we've lost the game. Let me just have a look. Oh dear, this is a real problem, because we can't gain another Dark Pact condition, and I don't think there's any way of... Oh, roll 1 die on a 1, it's time to... But we can't gain another one. So that means we will fail the game if there's another reckoning. So that's a bit of a problem. Okay, well, let's hope that doesn't come to that, otherwise we've lost the game. All right, let's see how we go. Okay, so first action, we're going to use our ship ticket. And we will move to Rome. We can't move... We can't move more than that, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would move to the pyramids, but we can't. We can only travel one time. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do. We have a second action. I am going to discard this holy water and gain a blessed condition. Let's get the holy water. No, actually, we're not going to do that because we need to fight the maniac. I've just realized we need to fight the maniac, so we're not going to do that. What are we going to do? We've got an influence of 3, so we could go ahead and see how we go with an influence of 3. See if we get something else. Why don't we do that? Because we don't need to do anything else. Let's flip. The other thing is we could rest and get rid of the paranoia. That actually, we can test for and we can discard the madness. Well, why do we care though? Because we don't have any allies. So let's just go ahead and try and get something. So influence of 3. Let's roll them up. Let's hopefully we get something good. And we get a 5, so we get a 1. Let's not take another deck condition. We can get the profane tome. Reroll a will, or we could just get the profane tome. Well, why don't we get that? You know, that's helpful. You never know. All right, so we've got ourselves the profane tome. We will flip over, and what do we get here? We get an ancient tome. Study the words of a long dead language. If you pass, you may spend 1 sanity to gain a clue, a spell, and a task. Well, that's quite good. Okay, so those are our 2 actions. So we're now in the encounter phase. So the maniac comes rushing at us. Yep, here he is. So what we'll do first is we will discard this to get +5 will and fight during combat encounter. So we are going to throw the holy water at him. Okay, so let's go ahead and fight. So the first thing is, of course, is will. So we get a will +1. Now we get +5, so 9, 10, and we can re-roll 1. So that's 3, 4, 5. Let's just roll these twice. That's right, isn't it? 4 + 5 is 9 + 1. I think we get +1. So that's 10. All right. Oh, wrong one. Hello? That's more like it. All right, 6, 6, 6, 5, 6. So we more than pass the will test. Great. Now we do the other test, which is a little bit harder. So we are we get 5, isn't that right? We get 5, and we've got a 2, so that gives us a 7 on the combat. So that's 4, 3, 4, 5. Let's just copy 2 of these. It's 7, 3, 6, 7. So there's the 7. Now, but I think it's -1, isn't it? Yes, so it's actually 6. So we've got 6 dice. We got some options to re-roll if we really have to, but what we really need to do is get more than 2. Let's see how we go. Okay, roll them up. Come on, let's kill this maniac. And we get a 6. We get a 3, which means that we do kill the maniac. Wow. If you defeat this monster during a combat encounter, because we got 3 successes, and because we got 3 successes, that's 1 above, and therefore we kill and we gain the axe asset. Great. Search for the axe asset. Axe. There's the axe. So we get the axe. Not sure how. Well, I guess it'll be helpful. What's the axe do? Gain +2 during combat encounters. You may spend 2 sanity to oh, good. Okay. Well, you know, better than kick in the pants. There we go. If only there was a way we could have gotten rid of this Dark Pact, but we can't. But I suppose we can... Yeah. Only 2 Eldritch. That's really rough. Okay. All right. So now we can do... Now we've killed the maniac. So that's good. So now we can... we could do the gate here in Rome. Do we do the gate or do we just do a norm? I think we try and close the gate. Let's try and close the gate. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're off to the Dreamlands. Fantastic. Okay, so first of all, let's start at the top of the Dreamlands. In the Cavern of Flame, the bearded priests Nasht and Kaman Thar warn you that it is too dangerous to continue. Okay. You insist that you possess the knowledge you need and are resolved to enter the Dreamlands. Will -1. Roll 1 additional die for each clue you have. We have 3 clues, so, and our will is, we have a will of 4, so that's 7 minus 1 is 6. So we get to roll 6 die. There we go. And all we have to do is pass. We can also... No, that's during combat encounters, isn't it? So let's see how we go. We just need 1, 5, or a 6. Come on. We've got to get at least 1. Yes, we get 1, 5, and a 6. So we pass easily. What do they know? So we get the success condition rather than the fail condition. After gaining access to the Dreamlands, we told you so, you find yourself fighting moon beasts on a black galley sailing to the moon. Great. Great. Of all the things, strength. If you pass, you steal their treasure. Okay, so we are a 2. But we have an axe, so we get +2, so that's 4. So I'm glad we took on that maniac. So we get 4. And there was something else it said. You may spend 2 sanity to reroll any number of die. Okay. Well, that's really good, and we've got the clues. So this one here, we reroll. Okay. Well, we don't need to do that. All right, so we just need a 5 or a 6. And we've closed this gate. Come on, let's go. Fight the moon beast with an axe. And yes, and the moon beast go down to Sister Mary. Axe-wielding maniac Sister Mary takes down the moon beasts. Close the gate. Crowd goes wild. Wow, that's pretty good going. Let's stick it over here. Let's flip it over. There we go. 1 gate closed. Brilliant. That's fantastic. We're not getting anywhere in terms of mysteries, but we managed to defeat the maniac and we managed to close the gate. That is brilliant. We don't get anything else for it though. That was all. There we go. So pretty good. Pretty good. Sister Mary is a pretty tough customer. Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. So that's the end of our go. So we move into the mythos phase. Please don't have a reckoning. It doesn't have a reckoning. Oh. Yes. Oh my goodness, I thought we were going to die, but we didn't. Okay, so we can move this around to the red. Now, is there a red or did we just close it? I think we actually just closed it. So that was really helpful. So Doom doesn't go down. Ooh, Sister Mary, we're just managing to hold on here. So the next thing is a monster spawn. But there aren't, so we just got rid of it. So we get to spawn another gate. Isn't that lovely? Okay, we'll spawn another gate. That's all right. So we'll spawn a gate, and we get the Heart of Africa. Okay, with a... What's this? A Deep One hybrid. Okay. So Heart of Africa with a Deep One hybrid. There we go. We could be closing more gates, but we really need to get over and deal with the first mystery, which we still haven't done. So there we go, and a clue goes out. Wow. Where's the clue go? 17. That's there. Okay. Well, actually, that's closer, isn't it? Well, but there we go. We can go to Istanbul, and then we can go and get it there. Well, that's good. Oh, hold on. We've got lots of clues. We don't need any more clues. What am I talking about? We've got to get ourselves over there. I keep thinking we need clues. We've got a ton of clues. That's not the problem that we have. So, there we go. Okay, let's... Oh, no, it's got red tentacles. Strange forces stretch you in all directions. Oh, great. The portals between worlds are pulling reality apart, and you feel these unearthly energies coming from all corners of the globe. Here we go. Torn asunder. Each investigator loses health equal to the number of gates on the board that correspond to the current omen. Well, that's 1. Whew. If there are no gates that correspond to the current omen, advance the omen by 1. Well, there are 1. The Heart of Africa. That wasn't too bad. It's been a lot worse than that. Okay, so there we go. We're at the end of turn 3. So we are moving into turn 4. We are still alive. Still alive. So let's have a look here at the board. So we managed to close a gate. So there are only 3 gates. Or are there 2 gates? There's only 2 gates on the board. So that's not running away with us. We're in Rome at the moment, so we've got to get ourselves to the pyramids and deal with this damn rumour. Otherwise we will die or the game will end. So we've got to do that as quickly as possible. Once we've done that, we really then need to, as quickly as we can, get ourselves over to point 4. That is going to take some time, but we need to do it as quickly as we can. So the quicker we get there, the better. It's just a bit of a bugger of a place to actually get to, but anyway, that's the way it goes. So far so good, but we haven't solved any mysteries, which is what we're supposed to be doing. So we're in turn 4. We have 2 actions. What are we going to do in these 2 actions? Well, obviously we're going to move to the pyramids. Now I think we do this as an action, don't we? I think. Oh, as an encounter. Okay, so we move to the pyramids. That's one action. We've got a second action. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We could either get rid of our paranoia, but to be honest, it doesn't. We don't have any allies, and there's no other investigators. So what? Dark Pact we can't do anything about. We've got a profane tome and we've got an axe. The other thing we should probably do then is get a ship ticket, because then we can get ourselves back to London or something like that. But we can't do that from the pyramids, of course, because the pyramids is not a city location, so we can't do that. We could rest and we could potentially do that, but that feels like a waste of time. I'm thinking, although the chances of getting 2 out of 3 rolls is probably low. Like if there was a 1, I'd think about it. I don't want to take another deck condition. Oh, we can't buy things anyway, can we? We can't buy things while we're here at the pyramids. So, what are we left to do? What should we do? I think we rest. Put our health back up to 5. And if we rest, on a 5 or a 6, we can discard this card. So let's do that. That's, it's best to keep our health up. What do we get? We get a 4, so we don't. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's the end of our actions. So basically we moved to the pyramids and we rested. Now we can do this as an encounter. So let's see what we need to do. As an encounter, investigate the pyramids may offer the messenger information about his enemies in exchange for assistance. Influence of 3. If ever there was a time, we've got clues, so we can re-roll if we really need to. Okay. If we pass, spend clues, then we need to spend a clue. So the first thing we're going to do is pass. Come on, 5 or a 6. Let's go. We fail. So let's put in a clue. Let's spend a clue. I can't believe I'm having to do this, but let's spend 1 clue and re-roll. This is really unfortunate, but we need to pass it. Come on. Nope. We'll spend another clue. Come on. We'll re-roll again. If we don't get this, then we are in a real pain. Come on. Yes. I do believe. Well, I'm not one for believing in God, I have to say, but maybe my mind's being changed right now, because Sister Mary is really managing to do things just like for the skin of her teeth. And yes, we do that. Then we spend clues. So we spend our final clue and we resolve this. We solve this rumor. Let me see if I got that right. Counter investigator pyramids may offer the messenger information about areas for assistance. So we failed with 3 rolls. We rolled again and got a 1, and we rolled again and got a 6. If we pass, we can spend a clue. That's what we did with our final clue to solve this rumor. This rumor has been solved. Oh my goodness. So we really did that by the skin of our teeth. I can't believe we did that. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay, so that's gone. That rumor has gone. We're just ourselves in the pyramids. So we live to fight another day, as it were. Oh, okay. So that's the end of the encounter. So it's time to move into the mythos phase. Let's see what we get this time. And yes, indeed, the Doom track goes round 1. Buenos Aires is blue, so the Doom track goes down by 1 again. We resolved the encounter. We resolved the reckoning effects. I don't think there are any reckonings on the table at the moment. No, but there's lots of reckonings down here. So there's the paranoia one. Test if you fail, flip this card. Well, we've got a will of 4. It doesn't matter if you can just flip the card anyway. Apparently being paranoid is not a problem when you're by yourself. We do pass it, so there you go. Now the Dark Pact. Roll 1 die. On a 1, it's time to fulfill your bargain. All right. Oops. Let's go ahead. Do we get a 1? We don't. We get a 6, so that's fine. Okay, so we've done the reckonings. Everything's okay. Still okay. Then we spawn a gate. Oh boy, this is like the most incredible game. Where's this one? This is another red one in the Himalayas. That's there with. So there's a Byakhee. If you defeat this monster, okay. Whoops, where's that Byakhee gone? So Byakhee in the Himalayas. Good job of these monsters haven't been we haven't got the usual nasty ones with different effects. So let's read the rest of it. You keep replaying the struggle in your mind. Just as you gain the upper hand, a smug expression crept over the monstrosity's face. Just for an instant. What did that abomination know you didn't? Each investigator on a space containing a monster gains a hunted condition. Well, they're not. So that's it. Wow. Okay. All right, that's the end of turn 4. Let's move into turn 5. So Sister Mary is still alive. She's still at full health and sanity. She is paranoid, and she's made a dark pact with Nyarlathotep, which apparently she's done in previous lives. But we have a profane tome, and we have an axe, and we are doing okay. If I have a look at the board, there are now 3 gates, and we have various bits and pieces, but our main thing is to get our asses over to 4 and solve this darned mystery. But I've just realized we don't have a clue anymore. We just don't have it. We've got no clue because we use them all. So we need a clue. So what I'm thinking is we go down to Cape Town. We get a ship ticket from Cape Town and we get ourselves over to 17 and we get ourselves a clue, because I'm not sure how else we can get a clue. I think that's probably a good idea, and then that gets us on our way. We can is that a city location? We get another ship ticket to get ourselves to Tokyo, where there's an expedition which we might solve, and then this is all great. Doing all this stuff is all lovely, but the problem is we're not solving the mysteries, which is what we need to do. But anyway, I've just realized actually getting to South Africa is not easy at all. Maybe I know what we do. We go to Istanbul. We get a rail ticket from Istanbul. We get ourselves to Tunguska. And then we get ourselves that way. Yes. That's what we do. I think that's the best course of action. Yes. Okay. All right. So just on all of that. So in turn 5, first action, we are going to move to Istanbul. Second action, we are going to take a rail ticket. So we've got ourselves a rail ticket. Lots of travel happening. Sister Mary's getting about. We've been South Africa. We've been to Arkham, have we? We've been all over the place. I don't remember all the places. We've been really globetrotting in this game. It's been quite the action-packed game. All right, so we're in Istanbul. So our second action was to get a rail ticket. That's done. So we'll get ourselves to Tunguska next time. So we now have an encounter in Istanbul. So that's an Asia encounter, I think. So let's pull that up. Is that in Istanbul or is that... No, it's Europe. What am I saying? That's Europe. Okay, let's see what Istanbul says. You struggle to find the nerve to escape the sons of the hands that feed. Will -1. If you pass, you free yourself and another prisoner, gain 1 random ally asset from the deck. And improve your influence. If you fail, you never truly escape the eyes of sons and gain a paranoia condition. We already have a paranoia condition. So it is a will -1. So that is a will of 3 because we're a 4. So I hope we pass this because it would be nice to get an ally, even if we could potentially lose them. Okay, so let's see how we go. And we pass. So we pass, which means we free another prisoner, random ally, and improve this again. So now we have an influence of 4. Wow. Okay, and let's get ourselves a random ally asset. Let's just keep flipping them till we get one. No. Nope. Is that an ally? Yes, a lodged disciple. Okay, well, we'll have to see how long they last. Let's have a look at what the lodged disciple does. You gain +1 law, +1 influence. When you roll a die when resolving law or... Oh, good. That's brilliant. Wow, that's the one I want to keep. As long as we don't, as long as we. It's okay. So that gives us a +1 law and a +1 to influence. So let's just remind us. I'm just going to put these on here so that we remember, because it's like a passive effect. Sister Mary. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that was our encounter. In Istanbul. That is great. That is fantastic. So let's move into the mythos phase, which will probably destroy everything we've just done. And let's see what the encounter deck has for us. And the encounter deck has... Oops. What's the encounter deck have? Okay, so we move this around. We are back round here on green. Yeah. I don't think there are any green ones, so that's good. Next is reckonings. So again, we've got the paranoia reckoning. Test if you fail, so test 4. Let's go ahead. Pass. The Dark Pact. Roll a die on a 1. It's time to fulfill that. Let's hope we don't get a 1. Get a 6. Is that all the reckonings? Yep, that's all the reckonings. Gate. So another gate comes out. And the gate is at the pyramids. We were just there. With a ghoul. Okay. Let's read it out. With each new discovery, there's always some secret behind it. You begin to suspect that the greatest threat to you is a true understanding of what the darkness is, unimaginable horror. Shuffle the Mythos deck, then draw and resolve another Mythos card without resolving that card's advance and advance the Omen icon if it has one. If this is the last card of the Mythos deck, Investigators lose name. Shuffle the Mythos deck. Draw and resolve another Mythos card. Shuffle the Mythos deck. Okay. Draw and resolve the Mythos card. Okay. And it says if it's advanced the Omen, don't do that, doesn't it? Without resolving that card's advance the Omen. Well, it doesn't have that. Oh, yes, it does have that. So we don't advance the Omen, but we have a Monster Surge for green, but there isn't. So that means I think that we bring out... Yeah. So we bring out another gate. Oh dear. That's in Arkham. With a Moon Beast. Okay. Arkham has a moon beast. There we go. And a clue. Where's this clue going to go? Clue is on Tokyo. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay, and let's read out the rest. The disturbances occurred in such remote areas that they went largely unnoticed at first, but soon news spread to research outposts. Those scientists reached out to you about the strange lights in the sky and flocks of birds dying in flight and plummeting to the ground. Strange energies. Each investigator on the active expedition space... No. Or adjacent spaces loses health or sanity. No. Then each investigator on the Mystic Ruins space... No. Finally, shuffle the Expedition Encounter deck and the Mystic Ruins Encounter deck. Right, okay. Well, we're only using the Expedition one. So we are now still in Tokyo. Okay. All right. That wasn't too bad. Okay. All right, so that's the end of that. So we now move into turn 6. Let's have a look at how things are now. There's a lot more gates on the board. There is still 13 on the Doom track, but that's going to start changing because there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates down. So that's going to start changing, and we don't really have time. We really do need to get a clue, and we need to get over and get this mystery solved. So that's what we'll be focusing on. Okay, so let's turn 6, Sister Mary. What are we doing? Let's use our ship ticket. Let's use our ship ticket and let's get ourselves over to Tunguska. Yep, there's a clue. There we go. Whoops. Sorry, I think before we move to Tunguska, sorry. My bad. Before we move to Tunguska, let's use our influence to 3, 4, 5 influence with the lodge. Let's try and do this first because we won't. So we've got 5, haven't we? All up. Yes. So let's use our influence here. See if we can get something. 5 or a 6. We get absolutely nothing. And then we move to Tunguska. Okay. Okay, Tunguska, we're doing a research encounter. To get this clue. Okay, so the research encounters are here. So let's see what we've got. Where are we? We're in a wilderness area, aren't we? Yes. Something attacks you in the dark. Lose 1 health. Ouch. To your eyes, there's nothing around but trees. Observation. Oh, not observation of 3. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. Observation of 3. Okay, let's do it. Come on, 5 or a 6. Yes, we pass. Wow. Okay. If you pass, you discover a metallic grey tree with evenly spaced branches and identify a strange alien from the planet Zikotli, or Zikotloti. Gain this clue and an additional clue. That's great. Fantastic. Okay. Good stuff, Sister Mary. She's okay. That's brilliant. All right. So, all good. Whew. Okay, so that was good. All right. So we got our clue. So the plan now is to get ourselves to here, then get ourselves to here. So that's going to take us 3 more turns. Can you believe it? Yeah. Anyway. Okay. All right. We'll be lucky to get this mystery the way we're going. Okay, that was the encounter. Let's go to the mythos phase, and it's one of these. It's a rumor. Okay, clue. At 2. Okay, that's right over here. There we are. Plenty of clues on the board, aren't there? 4 Eldritch tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Eldritch tokens. Reports emerge from the Pacific Islands of curiously preserved mummies. Their skin is dense and leathery, but upon dissection you find that their brains are alive. Ooh, out of the eons. Ongoing rumor. When its card in this place, spawn the Gatanothoa epic monster on space 2. When it is defeated, solve this rumor. Nope. How do you spell it again? Oh, GH. Okay, GHAT. Okay. That's so weird that we just got a clue on 2 as well. That's so weird serendipity. That's 7. Where's 2 again? Oh, there. Okay. When this is defeated, solve this rumor. If an investigator would gain an artifact, he may gain a weapon artifact instead. If there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, each investigator loses all his health. His health loss cannot be prevented. Ooh, okay. He loses all his health. Well, that's the end of the game there, isn't it? So that's 4. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So we kind of have to solve that. How do we solve it again? I guess we defeat the... When it's defeated. This is going to be like impossible for Sister Mary to do, I'm sure. Let's have a look. Oh, he's got physical resistance for a start, so the axe isn't going to work. So if we're going to do it, we would need another way, something like the Enchanted Blade. So we would need the Enchanted Blade, but even with the Enchanted Blade, that would be okay, but only just. So if we are going to take them on, it's going to be tough. So I think we're just going to have to try and get things done before that finishes. I think that's the best way of dealing with that. Okay, so let's move into turn 7. Let's have a look where we're at. So we are in Tunguska. We've got to get ourselves to the 4, so we've got to get moving. Unfortunately, it's going to be very slow. It's going to take us 3 turns to get there. Maybe if we'd gone... See, we're at the pyramids, so... You see, it would have taken us 2 turns to get to South Africa. And no, we went as fast as we can. It's just in a really, really difficult place. So I think we just get ourselves there as quickly as possible. Try and get ourselves as much weaponry as we can, because once we've done that, we could try and get rid of that monster as well. But it's also dependent on how many mysteries we can get, because that's what the Investigator games is all about. Okay, so in turn 7, let's do some moving. Oops, and let's move to here. To the wilderness, so that's first action. We can't shop or anything, but we can rest. So let's give ourselves our health back. Now, because we've rested, on a 5 or a 6, we can get rid of this paranoia. Actually, instead of resting, I've just realized that's dumb. Let's not rest. Let's give ourselves our rest back, but let's do this test. For each success, you can discard it, because we've got a 4. That's a much better way of succeeding. Let's see if we can get rid of this madness condition. 5 or a 6, and we do. So we get rid of the madness condition, which means we won't get rid of our ally. So that was great. Okay, let's stick it up there. So we've still got the Dark Pact. We do have the Profane Tome. We've got an Axe. We've got a Lodged Disciple. That's all great. So we've moved, and we can now do an encounter in the wilderness. Let's do a wilderness encounter. In the middle of the night, a feral beast rips apart your camp and attacks you. Fight! If you pass, you feel invincible, improve. If you fail, lose health. Okay. So we've got to test our fight. We're a fight of 2, but we've got an axe. So we get 4. So we get a fight of 4. And we can use sanity to improve this. So a fight of 4. Let's go ahead and see. Oops. Let's put that back. Let's see how we go. She's pretty formidable, Sister Mary, I have to say. And yes, take that. You feel invisible, improve your will. I tell you what, Sister Mary, she is a force of nature. Okay, right, good-o. All right, okay. Okay, so that was our encounter. So we move into the mythos phase. Let's see what the mythos phase has. So this moves around to blue. Now, in terms of blue, there are 1 in Buenos Aires, 2. So it goes down by 2. Okay. Reckonings. So the reckoning effects, well, one of these goes. So one of the Eldritch tokens goes off the rumor. Yep. And also the Dark Pact, which says roll a die on a 1. It's time to fulfill your destiny. Let's tempt fate and roll the 1, because if you've already rolled a 1, you can't roll another 1. It's just, Yes, see? 6. So that was, I don't think there's any others. Oh, hold on. Moonbeast? No, I don't think. Usually, it's interesting. Usually, at least one of the monsters has a reckoning, but they don't. So that's all the reckonings. And then another gate comes out. Oh, my goodness. And the gate is Istanbul. With... Oh, and this one does have a reckoning. I spoke too soon. Oh, it's a cultist. Okay, that's not too bad. All right. Okay. All right, let's see what this says. Once inside the lodge, your host invites you to follow him upstairs. Several members stare in astonishment. Outsiders are rarely granted such access. At the top of the stairs, you are ushered into a library filled with rare and exotic tomes. Now, he says, how can we help you? Wow, Silver Twilight Aid. Each investigator may do one of the following. Gain a clue, gain an asset, or gain a spell. Ooh, which spell? Which asset? Any old asset? Oh, you can get anything, can you? Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So I've just checked the rules there. You can't choose it. You just take a random. So I can either take a random spell, I can either take a random asset, or I can take a clue. So it's really between the spells and the assets. So I think I'm going to take a spell because I need something magical. My lore is now 3. So that's reasonable. So I'm going to gain a spell. So I'm just going to randomly 1, 2, 3, 4. So the spell that we get is Summon a Byakhee. Test. If you pass, move to a space of your choice within 2 spaces. Okay. That's great. That's actually really good. That's really fantastic. Okay. All right. That's an action. Sister Mary. Fantastic. Okay. That means we could... right. Good. Okay. It's all happening. Okay. So that's the end of the Mythos phase. That was very successful. So we move into turn 8. Let's just have a look. There are so many gates on the board now. We've got a rumor that's going to kill us ultimately. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates now. But we really need to solve this mystery. If we don't solve the mystery, then there's no point at all. That's what the Investigator games is all about. So I'm hoping the Byakhee can get us there, and then we can get it done. So let's hope that's the case. All right. So we have got 2 actions. So our first action will be test lore. If you pass, move to a space of your choice within 2 spaces and then flip this card. So we have a law of 3 and we can re-roll 1 dice as well. So let's give ourselves 3. So let's try this new spell out that we acquired from the lodge. And we get a 6 and a 5. And we can re-roll 1 more, I think. Where is it? This is a lodge disciple. It helps to have a lodge disciple. Reroll 1 die. So let's take the 2 and re-roll it. Oops. Okay. No, so we just get 2. So we flip the card, and it says 1+, you arrive safely despite how loathsome you find your steed. Lose a sanity. Okay, so we lose a sanity, but we get to move to a space of your choice within 2 spaces. 1, 2. Wow, that... Oh, hold on. We're a bit bowled over after all that. That was fantastic. Wow, so we're there. All right. We have 1 more action. It's not a city, so I'm going to rest. Give myself a 5 and a 7 back up. And that's the end of our action phase. This is part of the encounter, isn't it? As an encounter. Yep, so this is what we're going to do now. As an encounter, an investigator on a space containing an Eldritch token may attempt to find information true name. Spend 2 clues. Yep. So we spend the 2 clues. Yep. And we put the Eldritch token on there. And then, at the end of the Mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens equal to 1, solve this mystery. Cool. All right, so that's our encounter. So now we move into, we've just got to survive this. Luckily, there's no red tentacles. And it says, okay, so this moves around to red, which means, let's see, Arkham 1, Heart of Africa 2. No. Oh, and the Himalayas 3. So this moves down by 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, Doom of 8. Okay. Then there is a monster surge on those. Oh boy. First monster is a cultist in the Heart of Africa. Let's put that there. The Arkham. Let's put a monster in Arkham. Another cultist in Arkham. And then the Himalayas. Another cultist. Is that right? Wow. Cultists everywhere. Coming out in force. There we go. Then the clue. Heart of Africa. Heart of Africa has become busy. Cultists, deep ones, gates, clues. Wow. Okay. The pain in your gut is agonizing and you have had a headache for days now. Wow, sounds like COVID-19, doesn't it? No matter how hard you try, you can't focus on your mission through the pain. Hindering agony, ongoing. When this card enters play, each investigator loses 1 health and 1 sanity. And discards all focus. Oh, we don't have any focus. I've forgotten about focus. Of course you can get focus, can't you? Investigators cannot perform focus actions. Whatever. Okay, fine. Good. That's the end of that. That's the end of the Mythos phase, which means that if there is an Eldritch token equal to 1, solve this mystery. And the crowd goes wild. There we go. There's our first mystery solved. Fantastic. So let's see what the next mystery is. And the next mystery is... Seed of the Demon Sultan. A strange green comet has fallen from the sky. Even after the impact, the meteorite continues to slowly burrow itself deeper into the earth. When this card enters play, place the mystery token on Tunguska. We've just been in Tunguska. You're kidding me. Oh boy. Okay. As an encounter, an investigator on Tunguska may attempt to search for signs of the impact of the dead forest. Observation: if he passes, he discovers a strange green meteorite. Spend 2 clues to place an Eldritch token on this card. At the end of the mythos phase, da-da-da-da. Well, that's great, but we don't have any clues. If we did, that would be fantastic. So I think... There's a clue in Tokyo and things, but... boy. Okay. Oh, this is ongoing. I didn't realize it's ongoing. Right. Okay, so it sits there. Okay, so there we go. That's the end of turn 8. We're in turn 9. Let's just have a look at the way things are on the board. Now, this is a bit of a problem. We're out in the middle of nowhere. We need to get back to Tunguska, but in order for us to solve this mystery, we need 2 clues. And at the moment, we don't have any. I don't think there's anything in the reserve to help us. No, that's not true, I think. Relic. If you pass, we can get the ancient tome. That will give us 1 clue, but not 2 clues. So, Okay. Okay. So I'm thinking we try and get this ancient tome. And that will get us a clue. Then we can get to Tokyo and get the other clue and maybe do the encounter there. And then we can, I think that's the way to go. The other thing is to try and take on this monster. We could move to San Francisco, but I think that's quite difficult. And unless we have the enchanted blade, I don't think we've got a chance. Okay, so I think that's probably what we are going to do. All right, so first action, we're going to move to this city space. It's like somewhere in Alaska, Anchorage maybe. And once we're on the city space, now that we're here, we are going to go ahead and see if we can get something from the reserve. So we have an influence of 5. So that's 5 cards. Oops. 5 dice, sorry. Let's see how we go. So we'll roll them up. And we get 2. So we will take the ancient tome. We can't do something with it right now, but we can do something next time. So flip over and we get the lucky cigarette case. Yeah, okay. All right, so the ancient tome, we can actually test law. If you pass, you can spend a sanity to gain a clue, spell, or 1 task, so we'll get a clue with it. Okay. And then what we can do is we could get a ship ticket, and we could move to Tokyo then, and we can get the other clue, and then we can get ourselves to Tunguska. That sounds like a plan. All right, so we move into the encounter phase. So it's a city encounter. Who knows, we might get a clue here. City, a friendly game of cards ends with a very high stakes hand. I love playing Sister Mary. I tell you, this has been hilarious. She's like killing things with axes. She's making deals with dark gods at the pyramids. She's playing cards. She's not really acting like I would have expected. A friendly game of cards ends with a very high stake hand. If you pass, you amaze everyone watching and find a new friend, gain a high asset from the deck. Okay. So we're an influence of 5. Clearly our lodge guy is helping us. This is hilarious. I'm really enjoying this. This is great. Okay, how do we do? Yes, we pass. High stakes hand. Find a new friend. Random ally asset from the deck. Oh, Sister Mary, you're cracking me up. Let's keep going till we find an ally. No. Oh boy, it's his hilarious trinket. This is one of the best. This has been one of the best games I think I've played. So funny, so funny. Geez, holy water would be nice. Come on, where's an ally? No. No. Are there any? There are allies in here, I know. Oh. Here we go. Hide muscle. Oh boy, got it all here. Talk about, we've got an entourage of, so we've got Lodge, Disciple, and Hide Muscle as allies. We've got a spell, and we've got an axe, and we've got a tome. So we've got 2 tomes. And we got a Dark Pact that's going to bite us on the backside at some stage. Okay, cool. All right, let's flip those. Shuffle them up. I know that I've discarded the holy water, so if I get it again, I won't get it again. Okay, great, fantastic. Okay, let's put that back. Oops. Okay, so that was our encounter. So let's move into the mythos phase. What are we up for here? So again, this rolls around. So the Doom blue this time. So there's Buenos Aires, it's blue. There's another blue, the pyramids. It's green. So 2. Oh, it's down to 6. We're running out of time here. Clue. Clue is on 7. Okay. That's nowhere near us. Oh, that's here again. Okay. 2 clues on 7. That's in the wrong spot. That's supposed to be here. Oh boy. Oh dear, we could have gone there, couldn't we? Well, no, we couldn't. All right, it's fine. Okay, and let's see what it says. So it says, the threat of these ancient evils is not limited to forsaken temples. No, and the world's uncharted depths. Oh, you thought... Oh, hold on, we haven't done the rest. Monster surge. So there were monsters in Buenos Aires. I get a riot, and... at the pyramids, what's this? A formless spawn. Okay, we got the clue. Okay, so the threat of these ancient evils is not limited to forsaken temples and the world's uncharted depths. No, you see it now in every corner market, at every level of commerce. Cruelty and deception have taken root, corrupted business. When it's cut into plays, discard each asset from the reserve with value 2 or less. Okay, that's a lot. That one and that one, and don't replace them, I bet. Oh, okay, and then we'll flip them. Occult, and okay, and then it says this is ongoing. When an investigator performs an acquire assets action, he may gain an agreement condition to add 4 successes to his test result. Each investigator loses 2 sanities for each deal condition here. Okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so that's another ongoing condition. Okay. All right. That's that. No reckonings. I thought we haven't had a reckoning, so that's... Oh, hold on. No, we didn't get a reckoning, so I'm sure they're going to come up next time. Okay, so we will move into turn 10. Let's just have a look at the board. So the board is looking very full, particularly of enemies. There are enemies everywhere, but we're going to ignore them, and we're just going to try and get to Tunguska, but the Doom track is rapidly running out of time. So we're going to have to really, really get our skates on here. So let's go ahead and And first of all, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to summon this Byakhee again. So we're going to test law. And when we do test law, we get an extra law, and we can re-roll a law. So we get a law of 3. Yeah, law of 3. Okay, let's shuffle them up. We get 1 success. I'm going to roll the other one. See if we get 2 successes. I don't think it actually matters, to be honest. I think it's 1 plus what we do. So we flip it, and it says, you arrive safely despite how lonesome you find it. Lose a sanity. So we lose a sanity in the process, but we can move 1, 2. Or we could move 1, 2 and get this clue, which is better. I think it's better to go to Tokyo, and then we can use the Byakhee to get ourselves, hopefully, to Tunguska. All right, so we get ourselves onto Tokyo. That's our first action. Our second action is we're going to try and see if we can unearth this tome. You study the language. It's again a law. So it's a law of 3, and I think each time we can re-roll. Okay. So, yeah, a law of 3. Let's go ahead. Hope we do okay with this. Oh, wrong one. Hold on, what am I doing? Here we go. What's he doing? There we go. That's better. Yeah, 2 5s and a 6. Wow. So we more than pass. If you pass, you may spend a sanity. Ooh, boy. This is... Whoa, okay. Sanity setting, take a real hit. To gain 1 clue, 1 spell, or 1 task. So let's get ourselves that clue. Fantastic. Okay, so we get ourselves the clue. There we go. The ancient tome goes, I think, doesn't it? Or does it stay there? Oh, no, you don't. Oh, you can keep doing it. Wow. Okay. Okay. So that was great. Okay. So fantastic. So we got ourselves over to Tokyo, and then we got ourselves a clue. So we get this other clue, then we can use the Byakhee to hopefully get ourselves over to Tunguska, and then we can solve the next mystery. Brilliant. Things are just all happening. Okay, let's have an encounter. Oh, Sister Mary's tied out. There we go. Okay, let's have an encounter here. Now, we could do a couple of encounters. We could, yes, we want the clue. We could do a couple of encounters. There's the actual expedition encounter. There's a Tokyo encounter, but we want the clue. So we're going to do the clue encounter. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're in a city, and it says, doctors ask you to observe the trepanation. Oh, observe a trepanation, which I think is taking someone's brain out. They pull away a piece of his skull, and you examine the brain. Oh, what? 3, observation. Okay. If you pass, you spot the insight that creature, gain a clue, an additional clue. If you fail, you don't see the shan and overpowers your mind. Shuffle a solved mystery. You're kidding. Shuffle a solved mystery back into the deck. Oh my god. No. Oh my goodness. Well, we might have to use this clue because I don't want to fail this one. Okay, so observation 3. Let's go ahead and shuffle them up. 5 or a 6. Come on, Sister Mary. And we completely fail. So we don't get to re-roll with any of these things. So I'm going to have to throw in the clue to try and pass. That is awful because this is a really awful one. Come on, 5 or a 6. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we get the clue. And we get a second clue. Oh, I don't think I can stand this. I'm going to have a lie down after this. This is just like... it was 2 clues, wasn't it? An additional clue. If you've... Oh, my goodness. We came so close to things going really, really badly there. But they didn't. Oh, my goodness. How Oh, my goodness. Wow, Sister Mary. Okay, that's the encounter phase. Okay. Whew, let's move on to the mythos phase. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this moves round to here. So that means the doom goes down by 1. Because there is one green one somewhere here in Istanbul. And I realized I should have actually moved this down 2 more because there's an Eldritch token on there. I forgot about that. There we go. So we're even closer to the end than we thought. So, yes. Now we do the reckonings. Oh boy, there are a ton of reckonings now. Okay. So first of all, there's got to be something with a reckoning. Well, the cultist has a reckoning, but I don't think with Azathoth there's anything in particular. Okay, so I don't think any of these have anything. No. Okay, so we've just got all of these reckonings here. So this one here, each investigator loses 2 sanity for each deal condition he has. Well, I don't have any deal conditions, then discard the card. This one has discard the card. This one has discard an Eldritch token. So once these have gone, we're dead. There we go. That's all of those. And then finally, we've got the Dark Pact, where if we roll a 1, then it's all over. Then we draw a gate. And we get the gate in Tokyo, of all places, with a cultist. There we go, but we won't be hanging around here. Okay. All right. In your darkest moment, your compatriots find a way to help shoulder your burden. Each one finds a way to make sure that you never have to suffer alone. In the midst of such horrors, this thought alone provides you with some solace. Together we stand. The lead investigator loses health equal to his current health, unless other investigators as a group lose health. Oh, come on, we can't do this. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my health down to 1. That's what we've had this one before. We'll just put them both down to 1, which is pretty drastic, but I don't know what else to do here because other investigators lose health equal to Dow. Well, there aren't any. Maybe that's a bit much. Maybe I really don't. I'm just going to put them down to 1 because I don't know what else to do in that circumstance. All right, let's keep going. Okay, maybe we shouldn't be using that one, but anyway, it's pretty bad. So there we go. That's the end of turn 10. So we are still alive, but only just... So what we need to do is we need to get ourselves over to Tunguska, and that's what we're going to do now. So we've got 2 actions. Oh, there it is. I wondered where it had gone. So we've got 2 actions. So the first action, I think we should probably rest and give ourselves a bit more health. Yep. Second action, I'm going to use this spell, Summon a Byakhee. So it's test 3. Yes, it's better because we're going to lose the sanity for it anyway. So there we go. So we test 3. Need to get at least 1 here. Well, we do. So there we go. So it's successful. You arrive safely. We lose a sanity. Hello. All right. So we move 2 spaces. That's right. It seems really good, this spell. In fact, it seems too good. Within 2 spaces, yeah. So we've got ourselves to Tunguska. That's our 2 actions. And then I think it's as an encounter. And Tunguska may attempt to search for signs of the impact of the dead forest. If he passes, he discovers the stranger. Spend 2 clues. Okay. So that's observation, 3. We have to pass, and then we can spend the 2 clues. Come on. Come on. Oh, darn it. We can do it again, of course, but we've got no way of re-rolling, so that's our encounter. That's a pity. Okay, we'll try again next time. All right, we'll move into the mythos phase, and what have we got here? Okay. Oh no. Oh dear. All right, so we move this round to blue. Oh dear. Buenos Aires is 1. Pyramids is 2. Tokyo is 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. The doom is on 0. That is the end, ladies and gentlemen. That is really unfortunate that we didn't get that second mystery. We were so close. It came down to one roll. Unfortunately, we needed the 2 clues, I think. Yeah, so we couldn't. It's not like we had extra ways we could roll for that particular encounter. It was an observational encounter, so we weren't able to do that. So it came down to 1 lucky roll. I don't know if we would have passed this anyway. Discards half of his item possessions. We've got an axe. We've got an ancient 2. Oh no, we would have, because 1, 2, 3, we would have lost. Well, I suppose it's 1.5, isn't it? So I don't know. Anyway, we didn't make it. The doom hit 0. Unfortunately, that was in turn 10. Unfortunately, we didn't get any further, but that was a really valiant effort from Sister Mary. I thought she did really awesomely. I really enjoyed playing her. It was a really tough gig because we got some really, really tough things that were going to end the game. So we had to get over to the pyramids and deal with that. And by the time we'd done that and getting ourselves to the Eldritch token was, if it wasn't for that summon Biaki, that really, really helped. We nearly got the second mystery, but unfortunately we just didn't have the time. We had all kinds of fun, high stakes card games, killing moon beasts with axes, going to the pyramids and dealing with Nyarlathotep. It all was happening, but unfortunately the doom just got away with us in the end. So there we go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Please like, comment and subscribe. Now next time we will be playing the Investigator games with, let's shuffle it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, with Tommy Muldoon. Tommy Muldoon, the rookie cop, and we will see how he goes. But until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.